July 7th. It's so kind of you to join me. Grab a coffee and let's get smarter together. Yesterday, I transferred the concept of reactivity of atoms onto human bonding to create a next-level collective intelligence made up of humans. For the creation of a collective intelligence, you need to have a mechanism that enables competent agents to merge together into a larger emergent agent that will distort the option field for the lower levels. Create a bigger goal. The individual agents will continue to do what they have done before, but after merging, they will do it in a way that's coherent with a higher goal. In the great scheme of things, this higher goal will always end up to be that the new structure is at its lowest energy level while its parts are at an equilibrium with each other. Oh, and the merging or bonding mechanism, whatever you want to call it, will be based on the electromagnetic force. It sounds nutty, I know. We are solid bodies. How should several of us bond or merge to become one structure with an emergent agent on top? A mind of its own. And the whole thing is glued together by, checks notes, electromagnetic fields? Okay, nutty might be a nice way to describe it. Until you dive into the question what the nature of matter really is. You think you know what it means to be solid. Solid. It means something doesn't change its shape and you can't go through it. I assume you also know that all matter, including solid matter, is made up of atoms. In solids, the atoms are in a lattice structure, all cozied up to each other. In this mental picture, the atoms don't have much space between each other, and that's why you hit a surface when you touch them. That's true. And yet, there's a problem, and the problem lies with the composition of an atom. An atom is a tiny, tiny nucleus surrounded by a cloud of electrons. That means that the atom is mostly empty space. How empty? An atom is about 100,000 times larger than its nucleus. When you imagine the 6 protons and 6 neutrons making up the nucleus of a carbon atom to be bead size, like the beads on a necklace, the cloud made up of the 6 even smaller electrons orbiting the nucleus would fill an NFL football stadium. The space occupied by what we consider as things is 1 quadrillion of the size of the atom. In any other circumstances, we will call this completely empty. So, solids are mostly empty space nestled against each other, what still adds up to mostly empty space. So why is it that we hit a surface when touching solid matter? Electric fields. With electric fields that tie the protons and neurons in the nucleus together and that hold the electrons to the nucleus as well as the atoms in molecules and the molecules in their structure. The empty space is filled up with force fields. Hence, at the deepest level, all of matter is just made up of force fields with a tiny sprinkling of particles. It worked on every level we know so far, from quarks to cells. Individual parts as a sprinkling in a force field, often much larger than the volume of the parts, making up a higher level structure. The force field appearing empty because energy is not a thing in our understanding, but it's obviously there. All of life is but a ballet of conversion of one energy into another, of information being transmitted. So why should it stop working when the individual parts are piles of cells, which we call human? Because we are the endpoint of evolution? Because we are what nature has worked towards to and that's it? Thinking that is real madness. Explore, also known as think. Make a habit out of thinking. Let's turn thinking into the norm again. Like, comment, share and follow lest you miss a single opportunity to improve yourself and society. Once you do, we meet again at the coffee pot.